Hi, I'm Cecelia Sterling. These are the Adventures of Super Chick, and today I have a story to share. It's sort of a continuation of a story that I shared a few weeks ago. I, like you, it's how I began the last one, have someone in my family going through cancer treatment, and it's common. It's just so common. My heart goes out to all of us. But this particular story started last week where I randomly saw an Instagram reel from Martha Stewart, and she was making shrimp scampi. And I've never made shrimp scampi. And it just seemed so beautiful, and it seemed delicious and really easy. Really easy. And I was like, I'm going to make this, right? Because I'm looking for recipes to feed the larger family. And so I go to my sweet little grocery store, and funny enough, as I'm asking them for the shrimp, I'm going back and forth between wild caught and farm raised, and I'm not sure which to do. And I get triggered into an anxious experience of fear and worry about the well-being of our waterways and what shrimp has mercury and what shrimp's good for us and environmental concern. And I stop. I take a breath and I choose one. Because right now I'm making shrimp scampi using this new recipe for my family. And it's interesting in that moment, like the role that purpose can play in moving us through something. Doesn't negate my concern for our environmental well-being, but it moved me through in that particular moment. And I chose the farm raised, and I don't know why. I wasn't sure if that was the right thing. And then I had this thought, I wonder if this will be good when I actually go to cook it. I wonder if it'll go bad. I've actually gotten something from that butcher seafood area of that grocery store before, and it wasn't good when I went to open it. And that, I don't know, for whatever reason. Well, guess what? It was foreshadowing. Anyway, I get the shrimp. I get my other groceries. We head home. And I'm trying to figure out which day I'm making it, because this particular recipe means I'm putting all the shrimp in its marinade in a skillet in the broiler for 5 minutes. I love the broiler. I love 5 minutes. I've never put anything in a skillet before, so now I love that I'm learning something and trying something new. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be delicious based on the simple ingredients, right? I also got tarragon for the first time. I've never cooked with tarragon. I'm sure I've eaten it before, but I've never been aware of it. I've never purchased it. I've never used it in a recipe. I'm very excited. This is definitely an adventure. Thank you, Martha Stewart. So I figure out that I need to go visit my family. I need to actually be there. Sometimes I just send food up with someone who's going, but I need to be with them. And this recipe requires that as well. Perfect. What day is going to be the best thing? Purpose, right? So as I'm processing all my feelings around caretaking, my cousin's well-being, how everyone in the family is doing, I'm moving forward with this purpose. It lines up that Thursday is a day that we can go, works for our schedule. I can bring the food, and my daughter and his daughter can play, because she's available that day after school as well. Perfect. So we're going on Thursday. I go to open the shrimp, and I actually text my cousin's wife and I say, I'm curious if Thursday would work. This is what I'm thinking. And she says, yes, that sounds great. And I said, okay, great. We're having shrimp scampi if everything goes as planned. Foreshadow. So Thursday morning, I go to open the shrimp. It's bad. It smells horrendous. And I just laugh. And then I go into this, does that mean I'm not supposed to make shrimp scampi? Or I just wasn't supposed to get the shrimp at the shop where I got it? What? Maybe I'm supposed to go somewhere else. I'm just throwing around these supposed tos, which is just silly. But anyway, I decide I'm definitely making shrimp scampi. I'll make the marinade. I'll gather all the ingredients together for dinner. I'll go to a proper fish market on my way to their house, get fresh shrimp, take it there, and make it fresh, right? Probably best when it comes to seafood anyway. And I'll get to find out about a new fish market. And when I get there, I don't have all the environmental anxiety that I had before. Not because my concern is gone, but again, it's purpose driven, my being there. I feel a little more divinely connected to like this particular fish market that I found. And I walk in and the man helps me and he seems more connected to the seafood. Does that make sense? Like I'm getting it from the right person at the right place. It's how it feels. And he talks to me about how much I'm going to need. I'm not super aware of like how to cook for 6 to 8 adults. Some bigger eaters, some smaller eaters. Like that's out of my norm. I'm usually cooking for 1 to 2 adults. And I've told you before, I like small spaces. I like small amounts. I get a little uncomfortable when things go bigger. And I bet that's funny to some of you who are like cooking for 8 to 10 people literally on the regular, right? I know that we all just have different configurations at our tables, if you will. So I talked to him about the amounts. He's super clear. Like, yeah, you're going to need 3 to 4 shrimp. These are big. You can even butterfly cut them if you are feeling fancy or, fabulous. I'm like, that seems a little expert, but okay. It's a new recipe. But when I created the marinade, I grated my onion for the first time. I've never done that before. I've never even heard about that. And it went really well. And I get it, why that would be important. My eyes were just pouring out, which also felt healing as I'm processing all of my emotions about, my family's well-being and this larger experience. And even my daughter came in the room and she's like, whoa, I'm crying, Mom. I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure when we grate an onion, there's like a lot more that's released. The essence of the onion is in full force here. So I'm allowing that to be a bit detoxifying and maybe not even detoxifying, more like exfoliating in a sense of like allowing release. Triggering in a positive way, right? So I make the marinade. I'm feeling really proud of myself. I walk into the fish market, talking to the guy about quantities, feel really confident. He knows what he's he knows what he's doing. So he's telling me what to do. I'm in the right place. And I tell him all about my onion. And he doesn't seem to care. And I'm like, that's okay. I couldn't help but share. And then a minute later, he comes back and says, what were you saying about the onion? And I said, I grated the onion. That's what with a cheese grater, that's what the recipe called for. Have you ever done that? And he said, no. And what happened? And I started describing it. And he was like, yeah, I could see that. And I was like, oh, he's going to go home and grate an onion at some point too. I just love it when, things travel in this way. I am in the right place at the right time. And he turns to me and says, I have extra time right now. Do you want me to devein and clean these shrimp for you? Uh-huh. That was something that got described in the recipe. And I was like, pretty sure that'll be fine. No big deal, right? Skipping over it. Don't know how to do it. Don't want to get stuck. I'm definitely making shrimp scampi for the first time. So yes, please. And then, so he does that. And he's like, hey, I could leave the tails on for you. I was like, I go, okay, well. And he goes, should I yeah, please, just do everything for me. Thank you so much. And he said, yes, no problem. So I pay for the shrimp, which is twice as much as the shrimp that I bought the week before. I thought, I'm in the right place. This is the right thing, right? I want this meal to be nurturing and supportive and easy and absolutely delicious. So we get to their house, we walk in, and in any caregiving situation, I immediately think of my grandmother after surgery because I lived with her for a little while and I helped, and after I had my daughter. Everyone in the house is involved. There's a lot of energy. I'm even processing energy now. And there's this big difference between like inside and outside and moving things around and then getting quiet and just all supporting one particular aspect of life in a given space. And so I walk in, I have all these bags because I've got all these different ingredients. I'm making salad, shrimp scampi, something for the kids, and all these different things. And I'm sort of unloading and trying to do that in this really contained way where I can like tune in to what's else is going on in the house and the other needs. And there are a lot of people there in this particular moment. So my daughter goes off with his daughter. Great. I get things put away to the best of my ability in a kitchen that like, I don't know where everything is. And there is so much love and compassion and acceptance and presence in this space that I am kind of in awe. Like, this feels really good here. And I greet everyone and I connect. And then we're having a lemonade stand. So his daughter wants to have a lemonade stand. She's saving money to get a hamster. I am down for all entrepreneurial efforts. My daughter is into it. We now have purpose. And the grandmother's there. She's squeezing the lemons. The uncle's there and he's like helping get the ingredients. And then he starts squeezing the lemons and lemons in the eye and contacts and getting the picture and getting the fold up table and where are the paper cups and the napkins and the cash register and the bank, the tip jar. And I'm like, Dad. There are a lot of things to putting out a business, even a lemonade stand, right? There are a lot of hats to be worn. And this girl has a great staff. We are energized, we're enthusiastic, we're experienced, we're prepared to help her. And in about 20 to 30 minutes, we have delicious lemonade. There was a lot of talk about how much sugar, not too much, a little bit more. Yes, this is it. Perfectly tart, a little bit sweet. And we walk down the hill, like no sidewalks in this particular area. So it's just a little funny. And she says, we're going to the corner. My teacher is coming. So we have to get there by the time my teacher is coming. And I thought, how great to have your core audience or your core client base, right? They're coming at this time. And even if that's the only customer, like that got us to this point because there is going to be one. So we go to the corner. Well, location. It is a 4-way stop. We're there at 4:30 on a Thursday afternoon, and it's a gorgeous day outside, which you might think is common here in Southern California, and normally it is, but not this year. Everybody's excited about the sun coming out lately. And the first person that stops, figures out a way to pull over, walks up in this super classic t-shirt, and he's like, I'll take a lemonade. And we're like, it's small batch craft lemonade. It's delicious, homemade. And the proceeds go to help this sweet thing get a hamster. He's like, cool, how much is it? $1. Okay, how's 10? Southern California. People are dropping $5 and $10 and extra dollars and extra cents with tips, and so generous. And there's a lot of activity, and there's a lot of us involved. And my daughter is like, get your lemonade, only $1 on repeat. She looks at her older cousin and says, how about you go out there and yell for a bit and I'll do this. She puts her arms on the table and stands there like manning the table. They are in business, literally. And as I wrote the notes to this, I was like, we are also making lemonade out of lemons right now. And, Beyonce's recording of her, I'm not sure if it's her mom or her grandmother that's on the recording in her Lemonade album. And we're doing it together. And there's just so much love and support and positive energy in this moment. It's beautiful. Well, meanwhile, there's this really important phone call that needs to be had in the house. And so thank you for this alignment of we're going to be outside during this time. And they're doing some really important discussions and giving time and space to what they need at this time. And it's all working. It's all working. And taking care of humans is big business, right? At every level and every way. And it involves all the emotions and all of our faculties and all of our energy. And I'm just sort of aware of it. I'm really grateful for the purpose of this lemonade stand so that I can just be putting one foot in front of the other and take action in a loving, compassionate way. So they make all kinds of money. In like 45 minutes, they sell through the whole entire pitcher of lemonade. My cousin's a firefighter, and one of the other firefighters from his department was actually visiting that day, and he came up in his, regular car that he drives, but he turned the lights on. It was like, wee, wee. The kids, and he gets out and says, hey, do you have a permit for that? Oh my goodness, right? Like, we're just having such a full experience. The kids are laughing. They're giving stickers away with each lemonade purchase, and he has a little one at home, so they're choosing the stickers for her. And look at my smile, like we're just having this really rich experience. So we sell through all the lemonade. The teacher comes with her daughter. What are you doing after this? Oh, we're going shopping. And I'm just like, they're going to buy dresses. I love shopping. We all love shopping. And here we are, like, fueling their, like, girl time with this lemonade. And it's just beautiful. So we go back to the house to carry all the stuff. And, this worked. It was a happening corner. The people who didn't stop and buy lemonade had huge smiles on their faces and waved. Like, we brought love, joy, and happiness to a lot of people, whether they drank the lemonade or not. I think that's really important. I'm infusing that into this story today. And so we head back to the house, and now it is time to make the dinner. And I'm excited that it's going to be easy. I'm a little nervous that it's my first time, but it's easy enough that I feel like I say out loud, like I always do, like, this is terrible. I'm ordering us pizza, but I have some confidence that it's going to work. But I haven't, like I said before, haven't ever put like a pan into the broiler and had that be the thing that cooks the meal. And so I asked my cousin, like, this is what it says to do. Do you have any contribution to that? She says, I've only used a broiler like after I've baked something, so I'm not sure. And I said, same. So we have the same skill level, experience level in the kitchen. But I described to her what it was you suggested, and she said, well, then let's use this skillet, and yes, let's do it that way. I said, okay. So I put the shrimp in this. She has a cast iron skillet. We put the shrimp and the marinade in the skillet, and I put it in the broiler. She has a fancy oven, and I broil it for 5 minutes. And I take it out, and Martha Stewart might as well have made it. It was so beautiful that when I said, can we please take a picture of this? They were like, oh my, of course you have to take a picture of this. Like, no one thought that was silly. It was beautiful. So we plate the food for the kids, and we get them eating, and then we plate the food for the adults, and we sit down, and I'm just happy, right? I have all this purpose. I've contributed to the dinner. They thank me for coming and bringing the food, and they take a bite, and they say, this is delicious. And it is delicious. And I'm so happy that it worked and that it's good. And then she says to me, my mom loved shrimp scampi. And I just realized her mom passed away. And then her mom made this dinner for them. And I was a channel. And it all started with an Instagram reel that got shown to me. I never would have made shrimp scampi. Like, I can't even tell you enough how I just wouldn't have done that. Nothing against it, just wouldn't have resonated. And from the seeing the reel to the that looks easy enough and delicious enough to the I'll buy tarragon for the first time, like, and not having any like anxiety around that to stop me from doing it, which fully happens, right? Sometimes recipes are too out of our comfort zone and we don't have the ingredients, so we don't make them. But I felt like her mom made her dinner through me at a time where you just want your mom to come and make you dinner while you're having these big conversations and feelings and giving so much love and support to someone you care for so very much. And I was a little hesitant to even share this story because in a way it's not mine to share. And then I thought at the same time, it's all of ours to share. Because we all have to make lemonade out of lemons. And so many of us either have cancer or are helping give care to someone who does. And the one way I help is food, and the one way my uncle helps is to show up and be there through the night. And even with the lemonade stand, like, there was so much energy around it and collaboration and community in a sense, like there needs to be if someone's going to have a business. And sometimes it's one person wearing lots and lots of hats. And hats off to you, because I've been there before. And then sometimes people show up with a skill or an idea or a thought or a feeling that energizes and supports and cares for you in some really important way or really subtle way or really silly soft way or huge immense moving mountains way. And so this story is sort of infused with that energy that serves you in whatever way is needed and wanted in this moment. And with that, I'll say ciao for now. I'm Cecelia Sterling, and these are the adventures of Super Chick.